Continent: Asia is the largest continent in the world. Convenient: the bus stop is very convenient for me. Convince: I tried to convince my father, but he said no. Cozy: this small room is very warm and cozy. Cottage: they have a small cottage near the lake. Cough: he has a bad cough and a fever. Courage: you need courage to speak in front of people. Court: we play tennis on this court every weekend. Cover: please cover the food with a plate. Crew: the flight crew was very helpful during the trip. Crop: farmers grow many crops in this village. Cross out: please cross out the wrong answer. Crossroads: turn left at the crossroads to go to the bank. Crowd: there was a big crowd at the concert yesterday. Cruel: the king in the story was a cruel man.
Elara lived with her grandmother, Marta, in a small, cozy cottage near the woods. It was a happy place full of books and tea. But one cold morning, Marta woke up with a very bad cough. She felt weak and had to stay in bed. Elara wanted to help her grandmother feel better. Elara looked at a very old map. To find the medicine, she had to travel across the whole continent to the Blue Mountains. It was a very long way for a young girl. Suddenly, a small fox named Fen jumped through the window. "I can help you find the way," Fen said with a smile. Elara packed her bag with bread and water. Fen was ready too. He was a very small crew for such a big adventure, but he was very smart. They walked out of the house and started their journey. Elara felt a little nervous, but she knew she had to be brave for Marta. After 2 days, they reached a crossroads with 3 different paths. One path went through a dark forest, and the other went over a high hill. "The hill path is more convenient because it is faster," Fen said. Elara looked at the signpost and decided to follow the fox's advice. As they climbed the hill, a cruel wind began to blow. It was very cold and loud. Elara saw that Fen was shivering. She took off her warm scarf to cover the little fox. "Thank you, Elara," Fen whispered. They kept moving through the wind together. Soon the path led into a forest where the trees grew very close together. It felt like walking through a crowd of giants. The forest was dark and scary, but Elara did not stop. "We must have courage," she told Fen. They held each other close as they walked through the shadows. Elara carried a small notebook. Every time they passed a river or a mountain, she would cross out a task from her list. "We are almost there," she said happily. She felt proud because she was doing everything she planned to do on her big map. Finally, they arrived at a beautiful palace made of white stone. They walked inside and found the royal court. It was a huge room with tall windows and many guards. At the end of the room sat King Ederek on a golden throne. Elara felt very small in the big room. Elara began to speak. She had to convince King Ederek to give her the medicine for her grandmother. She told him about the long walk across the continent and the cold, cruel wind. King Ederek listened carefully to her story. He saw how much Elara loved her grandmother. The king smiled and gave Elara a small bag of seeds. "These seeds will grow a special crop that can cure any cough," he said. Elara and Fen ran all the way back to the cottage. Marta planted the seeds, and soon she was healthy again. They all lived happily in their cozy home.